Aloha Mai Kako, a Komamai to Curtain Call, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Leopoldstadt is 85-year-old Tom Stoppard's semi-autobiographical play that spans 56 years, beginning in 1899 and ending in 1955 in Vienna. It has a huge cast of 26 principals and another 12 who double as the younger ones, including the original Gretel, Faye Castillo, the original Ernst, Aaron Neal, and Fritz Leo, Artie Fouchon, and the original Rosa, Jenna Augen, from the January 2020 London Wyndham Theatre production. In the New York show, Ms. Augen also plays Wilma. The original Wilma was Clara Francis. So vast is the scope of this family, there is a family tree included in the centerfold of the playbill to assist the audience members with the relationships, and there is a detailed cast page that informs us who joins in each of the 5 scenes and what their relationship is. The play opens up in a stylish upper-class apartment in a Tonyʻs area of Vienna. It is Christmas time. Herman, David Krumholtz, born a Jew but baptized so he could marry Gretel, Ms. Castillo, a papist, as Grandma Amelia Betsy Adam describes her, is a prosperous textile manufacturer. There is esoteric conversation about the historic oppression of the Jews, mathematical theory, and avid exaltation of culture, music, art, and science Jews have brought to the center of the world, Vienna.
50 years ago, you couldn't get a foot in. You couldn't travel without a permit. You couldn't get a bed for the night in village or town except in the Jewish quarter. And if you lived in Vienna, you lived in Leopoldstadt. You wore a yellow patch and stepped off the pavement to make way for an Austrian. By all that's holy, it's happened in one lifetime. My grandfather wore a kaftan. My father went to the opera in a top hat, and I have the singers to dinner. Actors, writers, musicians. We buy the books, we look at the paintings, we go to the theater, the restaurant. We employ music teachers for our children. A new writer, if he's a great poet, like Hofmannsthal, walks among us like a demigod. We literally worship culture. And when we make money, that's what the money is for. To put us at the beating heart of Viennese culture. This is the promised land. And not because it's some place on a map where my ancestors came from. We're only 1 in 10, but without us, Austria would be the Patagonia of banking, science, the law, the arts, literature, journalism.
And a state for the only people without a country. Meantime, Grandma is waxing poetic about Christ. Quote, "I don't mind Christmas because baby Jesus had no idea about what was going on," unquote. And then she says, quote, "They used to hate us for killing Christ. Now they hate us for being Jews," unquote. The scene ends when young Jacob crowns the tree with the Star of David. Hannah, Colleen Litchfield, the sister of Wilma and Ludwig, is a mousy pianist who reveals she is smitten with a dragoon, Fritz, whom she met and asks Gretel to accompany her on a first date and to help her write a letter to him. It is now 1900. In the next scene, Gretel's betrayal of Hannah is revealed. It is a shocking moment in the play. We see Herman, in formal wear, talking to Ernst about an insult to his wife a dragoon has made. Herman vows to get an apology from the offender or to have satisfaction via a duel. We learn the offender is Fritz, and despite having been baptized, in Fritz's eyes, Herman is a Jew. Quote, "In my regiment, an officer isn't allowed to fight with a Jew," unquote. When Herman protests, "I'm a Christian, damn it," Fritz retorts, quote, "In my regiment, an officer isn't allowed to fight someone whose mother was a Jew," unquote. He continues, quote, "Since a Jew is devoid of honor from the day of his birth, it is impossible to insult a Jew. A Jew cannot, therefore, demand satisfaction for any suffered insult," unquote. It is one of the most frustrating theatrical moments in my more than 6 decades as a professional theater attendee. It is now 1924. The children have grown up. Jacob has been semi-blinded and lost an arm in the Great War, and the children are Marxist and socialist. It is a time for Nathan to have a bris. And in the funniest moment in the play, a banker, Otto, who has come with paperwork for Herman, is mistaken for the Moyle by Jacob and Sally, who introduces Nathan, the soon-to-be circumcised. When Otto asks for a cigar cutter, Sally is aghast. At her retort, Otto says, "Oh, don't worry, I can bite it off." At which point, Sally grabs Nathan and declares she is leaving. It is the kind of humor we love Mr. Stoppard for. Otto's business is finally revealed when Hermann returns. He tells Hermann Austria will unite with the Germans. Nationalism will join the people together. Quote, "We were betrayed in the war, cheated in the peace, and beggared by the reparations. We will restore our destiny together as one land." 1938. It is Kristallnacht, the night of the broken glass. The family is gathered together in the same but much less opulent apartment. There's a British journalist, Percy Chamberlain, present, who is the fiancé of Nellie. The scene is heightened when the doorbell is rung and a character known as the Civilian, with 2 SS guards, enters, interrogates, and terrorizes the family, requisitions the house and its contents. Hermann is forced to sign the family business away to the Nazis. But he has a secret that we learn, which makes everything okay. The final scene is 1955. This is when we learn that Leo is Leonard Rosenbaum, whose father, Aaron, was killed by artillery fire in Vienna, and his mother, Nellie, remarried Percy Chamberlain. Their family escaped to England, where he was raised by a mother who never spoke of her family. He doesn't learn, like the author, that he is really a good Christian, but his family background is Jewish. This is when we begin to understand who Stoppard really is. This is a complex and extraordinary excursion into history and the discrimination and prejudice the Jews have experienced since shortly after the beginning of Anno Domini. It is an exceptional work of theatrical art, one will remember for a very long time. It is without doubt Stoppard's greatest play, and this production, which has a limited time on Broadway, it is set to close on January 29, 2023, is one which you will regret missing. The only thing which is unfortunate about this event is the 2-hour and 10-minute without intermission running time, and they started 15 minutes late the day I saw it. Given the average age of the audience, bladders are not what they used to be, I do not understand why the play needed to run without intermission. I wasn't able to make it to the end and had to give up my front row seat for the entire final scene. But don't let that deter you from booking this show. Just don't drink before you go. It is a great play, and if I get back to New York before it closes, I will go and see it again. Should you find yourself on the East Coast, don't miss it. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Mahalo nui loa for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ahui ho.